All right. We're going to work on this little corn patch right here today. What I'm going to try to do, I ain't going to try to do it, I'm going to do it, is I'm going to put just a little bit of fertilizer down. Then I'm going to run a tiller through here, this little tiller. Get rid of some of these weeds, and that tiller should till in the fertilizer good enough to get the nitrogen on the ground. And then, it's like I say, we'll run the tiller through right quick, and later, then I can come in and do a little hoeing in between. What I want to do is stop this from getting away from me. So what we'll do, we're going to run down through here and just lightly put a little fertilizer on. Just lightly. That's better than nothing. I really don't think it needs anything. But this is that incredible corn that I was telling you about. And we want to give it every opportunity that we can to make good corn. It's hot, man, 96 degrees. Whew. We'll take our time, do a little at a time. That stuff, I'm gonna rinse my hand. I can feel the heat off that fertilizer. I can feel the heat. Of course, it's drought moisture. The fertilizer is drought moisture. So already 2 rows, 7 rows. I ain't gonna say it, I ain't gonna get done if I don't get with it, am I? Let's just get with it. Let's get with it, my friend. Since I watered this other night with them sprinklers, it's it's encouraged the grass here. Ooh. It has encouraged the grass. Be lucky if I have enough fertilizer to do this. But what I do have will help here, I guess. First fertilizer I put on this year, and I'm just putting it on this little patch right here of the incredible corn. Because it's supposed to be incredible. And it is good. I done ate some out of that other patch. But if you let this go like it is right now, and don't get in here and start dealing with these little weeds, it'll be like that other patch over there. Whoo! So, There's some plantain. So that's it. That's it. We'll rinse your bucket out here and wash your hands off. Yeah, plantain. I had a little patch right there that come up last year. And had a little patch come up last year. Or a little plant or two there, and I want to save it. I don't want to chop it down, so I'll go around it. I'll miss it. I will. I don't want to chop it down. Ooh. Yes, sir. She's warm, buddy. She warm. Now what I'll do is, like I said, I'll take that tiller, that little tiller, Mantis, and I'll run through there. I'm not trying to dig deep. I've got the tines on the weeding. You can turn them tines around. I'm gonna show you something else that I've learned about these little Mantis tillers in a minute. A lot of, when I first got that, you know, especially if you're getting hard dirt, it'll jump around and bounce around because it's turning so fast and there's not that much weight on it. But I've learned something since I've had that, and I'm fixing to show you. I'm sure that people that own these have probably discovered this too, but if not, you give this a try and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, I may not run it like this the whole time. I won't know till I get in here, because this is pretty loose dirt, soil, and again, it's like I say, I'm not trying to dig deep. I'm just trying to shear those weeds off. So I may have to, and all it is a kickstand, the kickstand that holds it up. When you get done tilling, I'll get it out here and show you. When you get done, get ready to till, everybody pulls that kickstand up. Try leaving it down if it's one like this that's in the back, and you'll see a world of difference in how that tiller operates. Or it's not, it just takes a little, that bounce out. Just let me just show you. Let me just show you here. She's a hot one, buddy. This tiller has got a kickstand right here. It comes up. When you get ready to till your garden, leave that down. Leave it down and see how it works out for you. Just leave it down, man. You'll understand once you try it. If you leave it down, you'll understand what I'm saying. Come on now. Whew. Now I'm going to start off and I'm going to leave that down. And if that holds it back too much, if that holds that back too much, it starts digging too deep, I'll have to raise it up before I can just fly through there. Because I'm not trying to get no depth here. Just trying to shear those weeds off. slick as a ribbon. Now you look at these weeds, I'll have to go up and down between each row. Got something rattling. There it is. Got something loose. Let me turn this off. I've got a bolt coming out here that I'm going to have to... What is that? That's a... I might be able to turn that in with a knife. If not, I'll have to go get a wrench. Vibration. Cause it... Yeah, I think I can do it with a knife. Then I need to get a wrench and get that tightened up. I know that I heard something. A rattling and a vibrate. That'll do it. That'll hold. Dull in my knife to try. That should take some of that vibration out. But you can see, by leaving that kickstand down, it takes that kick back out. I'll rest a minute. I would assume, let me get my drink. I would assume you can see what that's doing. Already half done. Whew. They're giving rain here in a day or two. But I ordered a thing here a while back. It's been 6 months or a year ago. It's a siphon. It goes on a water hose that you mix some liquid fertilizer up, put in a 5-gallon bucket, and then when you turn your sprinklers on, that siphon will siphon and ration that fertilizer out. And as you're watering, you can be fertilizing your garden. Sounds like 2 steps in one there. You know, I've not tried this, but it looks dark right now on that camera. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna flap that, and I'm pretty sure what'll happen is it'll come breathe in and out, but I'm gonna put this on another setting here, just to see, maybe. What's the matter? He said, "What's the matter, boy?" Whew, hot, baby, hot. All right, buddy. Now you can see that surely that is definitely an improvement. And all you have to do is, Lordy, man, it's hot. It's hot. I'm fixing to start dripping here. If you squeeze that out a little bit, if nothing comes out, what that does is distributes that old sweat, keeps it off your glasses. So, anyway, what I was saying, we fertilized that and weeded it, lightly tilled it. And what I was talking about that tiller, it's got a kickstand in the back. If you've got one of these, and if you want to know why it's a jumping and a jerking and carrying on, now it will, the harder the ground, it's going to do that. But if you put that kickstand down, that kickstand's got a spring in it, and that holds it down and up the way it's designed. The kickstand itself's tensioned. It's got notches that holds it in position. But as that kicks back, it kicks back and hits that kickstand. Well, that kickstand's got enough spring in it to absorb that, and then of course just in a split second, it's right back where it belongs. Try it with the kickstand up, try it with the kickstand down, and you'll see a world of difference. Now, getting back to the little tiller, it's been in the spring, I suppose. I can't remember back. I made a video about this little Mantis tiller. It was smoking like a freight train. So I come over here and checked it out and everything, and couldn't figure out why it's smoking. And it's like I say, I'd changed the oil, maintained it and everything. I think what happened, because it don't smoke now, as you noticed, at all. So I think what I done, and I know I would have done it on the bucket of that little dingo, skidster dingo thing. So I just raised that up and put it in there. And what I've done, if not had that bucket level, I didn't have the bucket level, and when I set the tiller on there, no doubt it was probably tilted back a little, because you'd turn it around where the spout is towards you, and naturally the bucket would be tilted back. So anyway, what I think I've done is filled that up to where that it was the proper level. And as far as that dipstick goes, you can throw that, I mean, you don't want to throw it away, but just don't worry about that dipstick. That dipstick's, as far as I'm concerned, is useless. Visual, see. But make sure those little boogers are setting level. And what I done, I mean, it wasn't much, but it was just enough to cause it to smoke. So I drained it all out and put more in it, and then I got to thinking, even after I refilled it with oil. So I went back and I set that up and made sure that was perfectly level. And even at that rate, after I changed it and filled it up, it was still, as I leveled it up, the bucket, where that would set level, I could see a little oil oozing out of the fill hole. You don't, well, you don't want it running out. You can fill that baby out. You don't even have to fill it up to where it runs out, but mighty close. So anyway, right here, Mantis tiller. This is a Honda GT35. I think it's a 35. Good little tiller. So far it has been. I don't know how long they'll last. I know some of the old ones, I've seen old ones. Of course, I don't know how much people, or how much they used it. Whether they used it once or twice and then set it up and didn't use it anymore. That was old ones. Still getting it. Honda, little Honda engines are pretty tough. Pretty tough little engines. But anyway, as I was saying a while ago, no reflections on Mantis of this smoking. That was probably, I'm going to say 99% my fault. And for the best of me, I I can't exactly tell you whether I did, but I'm almost positive I changed the oil in it last fall. I just can't remember. I don't know why I wouldn't have. I'd have changed it and thinking that now this will be fresh, ready to go in the spring. And setting it on the tiller, because that's where I always set it. Not the tiller, but setting the tiller on top of the little dingo bucket. I've had the bucket tilted back a little, put too much oil in it, and that's what the smoke problem was. So if I said anything negative, and I may have because I was kindly teed off, person needs to get their facts 110% straight before he ever starts broadcasting. But when you get something and you got a tool, you know, it's almost same as new. You get it and you take it out and it starts puffing smoke. I should have known instantly. Smelled like oil burning, so I should have known something was wrong. I figured a ring or something stuck and cracked or lined up or whatever. I was wrong. I think I was wrong anyway. But anyway, we've got the corn situated here. Now the next time, I'll make a video when I do that of this siphon system when I water this corn, and I don't know if it'll be tonight or when. I'll have to check the weather and see when they're giving a chance of showers. Anyway, I'm not griping. We'll get our rain when it's our turn. And meanwhile, the Lord gave me enough foresight to drill a well over here. And that's the only reason I drilled that well, because I've just had this little feeling that sometimes you have to supplement if you have the ability to. That don't mean you're trying to outdo nature, but you know, if you if you're blessed with enough wisdom and means to accomplish something like that, do it. Do it. And of course, you never know how that'll continue to go. But the only thing I can say, let me tell you a little story on that well. I'll tell you a little story right quick on the well. I've got another well down on the lot down by the highway. So I thought, you know, I'd like to have a well up here. So my son-in-law, his uncle, I think it was, drilled wells. And I had him to come up here. And of course, I was out. He came down and we rode around and looked, and he said, well, we can dig wherever you want, you know, drill wherever you want. And I thought about maybe down there, and then I thought, no, and I thought I need to be kind of located in between stuff here. So anyway, I got to thinking, and I remembered the water witching with the two wires. And I think, all I can say is I think that I can do that. I've done it for years. But anyway, I got over there with 2 pieces of wire. That after he had left, I thought I'm gonna find out, to put these to the test to see if they work or not. So anyway, I got the wires out and I started walking, and the wires got to a certain area and they crossed. And I thought, well, that's good. So I put a little flag there. Then I walked down about 30 feet, and here I go in the same direction, and the wires crossed again. I done that about 4 times through there, and I established a route to where I thought the water was running underneath. And it's like I said, I've got a well down there on that other lot, and it's probably 1,000 feet from here, or further maybe. But anyway, I decided where I wanted the truck set, and I put a little flag where I wanted that drill to go down. And I thought, I'm going to put this to the test now. So anyway, I put the flag there, and then I made an X with some paint, made an X on the ground. And I thought, now that's where that's going to set. So anyway, when he came and set his rig up, he had it almost ready to start blocking up. You know how them old one. It wasn't a rotary, it was old free fall drill. And so he was off about 1.5 feet or 2 feet from that mark when he let his bit down. And I said, wait a minute, hold it. I said, I don't want to be cause problems and be complicated. But I said, I want that bit to set exactly on that X, right where that little flag's at. I want that bit, that's where I want the hole at. I said, I hate to have you do that, but I want you to move this truck, move that over, just to satisfy my curiosity. Sometimes you can go right by water. That's my logic. You can drill right by it and not hit the water. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I was paying for the rig. I want the hole where I want it, simply put. So he moved it, didn't care a bit to move it. He moved it over and got set right on the hole. So we started, or they did, I was just watching in the way. But they started drilling. I think that, and then the second day, maybe second or third day or something, whenever they came back, because that's slow compared to the rotaries. I mean, it went pretty fast, really. But it had hit rock and stuff, it slows it down and stuff, you know, the process. I don't know what it took, 3 or 4 days to get it down. Anyway, he had left, he done most of it, and then his brother come in, and he was drilling, running the rig. And I come in one day, and that was one of the last days, and he shook his head, and he says, he said, I don't believe we're going to hit it here. He was at the point of wanting to give up. And I'm thinking, why you want to give up? You're getting paid so much per the foot. Keep drilling, keep drilling. So I said, just keep drilling. I said, I've got to do something. I went in the house, and I've got this handheld GPS. So I got on my four-wheeler, and I rode by here and took a reading of elevation. And I knowed how deep, I can't remember the numbers, so I'm not going to spurt out a bunch of numbers and them not be right. But I know at the time how deep that water well down there was when they hit water down there. And because I had the very people, they cleaned that one out, I think. Let's see. Can't remember if you done it first or last. I think maybe it's first. I don't remember. Anyway, I know the depth of that. And then I shot it with a GPS down there, ground level. Then I come up here and shot it here. And I asked him here how deep he was, and he told me how deep he was, and it was within 3 or 4 feet of the depth of that one down there. So I shot this with a GPS here, shot it with the GPS down there, and I think there was 30 feet or 24 feet difference in elevation. So I said, I want you to go, whatever that was, 24 feet or whatever, I want you to go, keep going. Because I don't know how it is under the ground, but my thinking was, you know, if it's down there, it's got to be up here too, somewhere. Anyway, he kept a drilling. And it wasn't, I don't guess, 2 hours of him a drilling, hit water. Now he was ready to leave. He was ready to leave. I thought, no. I'd want him to go till he run out of cable, for as I'd been concerned, but I wanted water. So anyway, he done the process, and then the next day they come back and they put the casing thing in and pulled out and left. So then I get my pump in the hole and get set up. And I had corn growing down there, where I grow hickory king corn. And anyway, I'd run, it took me a day or so to get everything run. I bought a whole big spool of that, I think it's 3/4 inch black plastic line. I just put ends on it like a hose and run her down through there. The pump I put in there is a 110 pump. 110. I can run it on a little generator. But anyway, I run that, and of course, before I run it down there, I let it run out on the ground, Lord have mercy, for hours and hours, because I was wanting to get it cleaned out. It's got a little bit of sulfur smell to it, So I thought, well, that's maybe where that water's in there. And of course, I didn't know if it was running water or you know, whether it was just sitting still. What do they call it? Stagnant. Anyway, I let it run to see if I could run it out. No, it didn't run out. So then I run this line, and I think I put 3 or 4 sprinklers down that side where it would, because the line wasn't big enough to carry the volume of water to run 4 sprinklers, so I'd run 2 at a time. And sometimes 1 at a time, and I'd had valves where I could switch them on and off down there. All night I let it run. Still a sprinkling. So, anyway, long story short, I planted some orchard trees down here. I sat there and watered all day long, and then hooked the corn and finally pumped it down. But now we're talking a day or 2 of water running out. And lo and behold, knock on wood, I've not pumped that well down again. I've never run it dry. Never pumped it down. So that's a good thing. Now, again, you know, something could happen. Little earthquake, shake, sink, anything can happen. Nothing's, you know, like that's 100% secure. But anyway, I don't know, I got on that big rabbit hole, but that's the deal with my well, is water witching and GPSing and whatever. Sometimes you can be almost there and give up. Don't give up, just keep a hammering. Just keep a hammering. It's easy to give up and walk away. And of course, pertaining to certain things, sometimes you're better off to maybe shake it off and follow a different trail, a different path. The narrow path, so, you know. Anyway, I've run my mouth enough out here today, so again, when I get ready to water the next time, I'll hook that little siphon thing up, and I'm sure probably everybody saw them. You can mix some liquid fertilizer, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and I think when I had a greenhouse down there years ago, I would use 1 cup, pretty sure it was 1 cup of that blue Peters triple 20 or whatever it was. Water soluble, and you put it in a 5-gallon bucket, fill the 5-gallon bucket up, and put your siphon in there, which is hooked to your hose, and as the water goes through, it sucks out, blends it. I don't know the percentage, but I ain't worried about the percentage. And while you're watering, fertilize at the same time if you want to fertilize. You don't have to fertilize, but if you want to, that's a simple way to do it. You're covering the whole garden with fertilizer. So anyway, we've got this one done. This one's not done, but weeded. And then you can take a hoe later. I'm not going to now, but you can take a hoe. And I got most of them. That little tiller, another thing about that little tiller, you can get right up against stuff, boy. You can get right against it. And you can just walk out through here, and them old weeds like that right there, just rake them out of there. Little bitty things, just rake them out. Cause them little bitty ones, you don't want to uproot the corn roots, that's for sure. Especially as dry as it is. But you can go through there and just take your time. I've got another little weeding hoe in there that I'll use, because you can get right in there between stuff. But those weeds, like that right there, is detrimental to the growth of your corn, because they'll pull the nutrients. And that's another reason I wanted to get a little fertilizer on this, is because I'm not, of course I'll get started on something like this if I ain't careful, and I'll be doing the whole thing. I'll wait, and we'll do that another day. But that's the deal. You've got to work your gardens and stuff. When I had this wood chips, of course, when I had all this in wood chips, mulch garden, whole garden's wood chips, it was a chore. I didn't film and show all the work that went involved getting that wood chips and stuff up here. But I can tell you right now, that don't come, they just don't fall out of the sky and get on your garden. You've got to load them, get them up here, distribute them, then you've got to rake them down. And I done with a rake 99% of it with a potato fork thing. I found out that's the best way. And once you get her all smoothed down, then a garden rake, it's all you need. Got weeds coming up, rake them up, be done with it. Watch Back to Eden Garden with Paul Gauchi. That's what when I saw that, I thought that's where I'm going. But now, again, there's a lot of work involved in that. Paul's had to have a lot of help. He's had to have had a lot of help because he had something wrong with his legs, hard for him to walk. And of course he stayed at him. But even at that rate, of course that's all, if that's all you got to do, but he kept that whole place immaculate looking, which is far from what mine is now. But anyway, that's the way she rolls. It looks good, works excellent, but the wood chips and mulch just don't fall out of the air. Like in the woods in the fall when the leaves fall and cover the ground and stuff, nature's doing it. It don't do it in this garden. You gotta bring it in, Leroy. It's gotta be brung in, spread her out there. Then you gotta give it time. If you're starting this new, you're talking down the road a year or two. You can plant the year you plant. Just rake them wood chips back. You might even have to fertilize a little. Put it in there, mix it up, and put your plants in there. And when the plants get started and established, ease the mulch back around them, you're golden. But it takes a few years for that to break down. Now mine, it's already broke down. It's gone. All the organic matter still out there, but it's in soil form now. It broke completely down. Which the ideal of the mulch is to suppress the weeds. No mulch, everything loves to grow in it. And I'd like to go back, but I'm not getting the mulch. It's getting harder to get that I used to get, but I could imagine why. But anyway, there's no need to start mulching a big garden like this if you don't have a mountain of mulch on reserve and it coming just I used to get 2 and 3, 4 loads a week. And I utilized it, maybe. I piled her up and piled it up, and I'd aerate it and turn it and move it, And like the wildwood weed, they said, all good things got to come to an end. This video just ended. All right, I'll catch you next time.